Hi, I'm Bowen. I've never been afraid of hard work, which is probably why I didn't see the betrayal coming until it was too late. You look like hell, man. When's the last time you slept more than 4 hours? I gulped down my third coffee of the morning as Alex slid into the booth across from me at the diner where I started my day before heading to job number one. Sleep is for people who don't have 3 jobs and a mortgage to pay. I'll rest when I'm dead. Or when your parents finally appreciate everything you're doing for them. Seriously, Bowen, they're taking advantage of you. I shrugged it off like I always did. They're getting older. Dad's pension barely covers their medications, and you know how stubborn they are about staying in that house. Family takes care of family. The truth was, I'd been covering the mortgage payments for almost 5 years now, working as an accountant during the day, bartending 3 nights a week, and doing rideshare driving on weekends. Every penny carefully budgeted to make sure my parents could stay in the home where I grew up. What about Melody? Your sister lives in the same city. What's her excuse? I stirred my coffee, avoiding Alex's eyes. You know how it is. Melody's got her career and your parents think she walks on water while you work yourself to death. It's bullshit. My phone buzzed, a text from my mother. Coming for Sunday dinner? Melody has exciting news. Of course she did. Melody always had exciting news. New promotion, new boyfriend, new whatever. Meanwhile, I had exciting things like paying property taxes and fixing the leaking roof last winter. I should get going. Morning shift starts in 20. Just promise me you'll start looking out for yourself someday. I was halfway through my accounting job when the call came from Elena, the family lawyer. Bowen, I wanted to speak with you directly about some changes your parents have made to their estate planning. My stomach dropped. What kind of changes? Perhaps we should discuss this in person. Are you available this afternoon? I rearranged my entire schedule, called in favors to cover my evening bartending shift, and walked into Elena's office with a knot in my chest. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, Elena said, sliding a document across her desk. Your parents have transferred the deed to the family home to Melody. I stared at the paper, not comprehending. But I've been paying the mortgage for years. I know, I brought that up when they came in, but they were quite adamant. My hands shook as I picked up the document. Does it say why? Elena looked uncomfortable. They said they wanted to make sure the house went to someone who deserved it. The room seemed to tilt sideways. 5 years of 60-hour work weeks, 5 years of saying no to vacations, to dating, to having any kind of life. Also, my parents could give my childhood home to my sister, who hadn't contributed a single dollar. I drove straight to my parents' house, still clutching the deed transfer papers Elena had given me. The familiar driveway where I'd learned to ride a bike now felt like enemy territory. What the hell is this? I slammed the papers down on the kitchen table where my parents were having lunch like it was just another Tuesday. My father barely looked up. Elena called. I figured you'd be stopping by. 5 years. I've been paying your mortgage for 5 years? My mother's lips thinned to a disapproving line. Watch your tone, Bowen. My tone? You give away the house I've been paying for and you're worried about my tone? It was always our house to give. And frankly, Melody has a future, a career. She's getting married. She needs a foundation. And what about my foundation? My future? Dad shrugged. You've always been stable. Melody needs more help. The front door opened and Melody walked in with a tall guy I'd never seen before. Her face fell when she saw me. Oh, you're here. Yeah, I just found out about my 5-year donation to your new home. The guy beside Melody extended his hand awkwardly. I'm Mark, Melody's fiancé. I ignored his hand. Congratulations on the free house. Mark looked confused. What house? Melody quickly jumped in. Mom and Dad are just helping us get started. Bowen's being dramatic. Dramatic? I've been working 3 jobs to pay for this place. Mark's eyes widened. You've been paying the mortgage here? Melody said your parents owned it outright. An uncomfortable silence fell over the kitchen. Mark looked from Melody to my parents and back to me, clearly processing. I need some air, Mark mumbled, stepping outside. I called Alex that night, still fuming. They didn't even deny it, just basically said Melody deserves it more. We need to document everything. I'm coming over. Alex arrived with takeout and determination. We spent hours going through my bank statements, creating a spreadsheet of every mortgage payment, property tax bill, and home repair I'd covered. This is almost $180,000 over 5 years, Bowen. You could have bought your own place. Tell me about it. You should talk to your Uncle Richard. He had a falling out with your dad years ago. Might shed some light. Uncle Richard agreed to meet at a coffee shop the next day. His resemblance to my father was striking, except for the kind eyes. History repeats itself, kid. Your grandfather did the same thing to your dad's brother. Favored one child, exploited the other. Your father swore he'd never be like that. Yet here we are. Your sister's been playing this game her whole life, claims she's struggling while hiding her success. What do you mean? Melody's company went public last year. She cashed out stock options worth a fortune. I nearly choked on my coffee. She what? After meeting with Uncle Richard, I drove back to my parents' house to retrieve some tools I'd left in the garage. As I approached, I heard voices through the open kitchen window. He actually thought he'd inherit this place? Melody laughed. Well, we finally got rid of him, my mother replied. Though I do feel bad about all the money he put in. Don't. He was stupid enough to pay without getting anything in writing. That's on him. I froze, my entire body going cold as my father chuckled in agreement. I barely made it back to my car before the rage hit me. Everything, every sacrifice, every missed opportunity, every extra shift had been a joke to them. I called Elena first thing the next morning. I need to know my options. They've been letting me pay their mortgage for years while planning to cut me out. Technically, without a written agreement, it's complicated. But given the pattern and verbal understandings, we might have a case for unjust enrichment. In English, please. They benefited from your money under circumstances that make it unfair for them to keep those benefits. Bring me all your payment records. And Bowen, document everything from now on. I was leaving Elena's office when my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Need to talk about Melody. It's Mark. We met at a bar across town where no one would recognize us. I had no idea what was happening with the house, Mark said, sliding a folder across the table. But that's not all. Melody's been lying to me too. The folder contained bank statements showing Melody had nearly $2 million from her company's IPO last year. She told me she was struggling financially. That's why I've been covering all our expenses. Join the club. There's more. Your parents' anniversary party is next month, right? Melody's planning to announce they're moving in with us after the wedding. Into your house. The one you paid for. My jaw clenched. How convenient. I can't be part of this. Whatever you're planning, I want to help. I called Uncle Richard next. We met at his fishing cabin where we wouldn't be interrupted. Your father pulled the same stunt with your Aunt Carol before you were born, Uncle Richard said, pulling out a dusty photo album. Your grandfather left the family business to your dad, even though Carol built it up for years. Your dad swore he'd never repeat those mistakes. Guess that promise expired. There's a pattern here, Bowen. Your grandfather favored your father. Your father favors Melody. It's a poison that runs in the bloodline. Well, I'm about to be the antidote. Alex showed up at my apartment with pizza and determination. Okay, Operation Expose the Leeches is a go. I've organized all your financial records, property tax payments, and home repair receipts. Even found photos of you fixing the roof and remodeling the bathroom. Mark says my parents are planning to move in with Melody after the wedding. They're announcing it at their anniversary party. Perfect timing. The whole family will be there to witness everything. I talked to Elena again. She says with Mark's testimony and these records, we have a solid case. What's the plan then? Hit them where it hurts. Their reputation. My parents care more about looking good than being good. I spread everything out on my kitchen table. Bank statements, photos, text messages, Melody's secret accounts, Mark's evidence. The anniversary party is 2 weeks away. Everyone will be there. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all their church friends. You sure you want to do this publicly? No turning back? They didn't just steal my money, they stole years of my life, all while laughing behind my back. I carefully organized all the evidence into labeled folders, creating copies for key family members. My phone buzzed with a text from my mother. Don't forget to RSVP for the anniversary party. Melody says you haven't responded. I smiled as I replied, wouldn't miss it for the world. The country club ballroom was decked out for my parents' anniversary. 40 years of marriage celebrated with champagne, flowers, and about 60 of their closest friends and family. I arrived early, placed my folders strategically around the room, and waited. You actually showed up, Melody said, eyeing me suspiciously. Didn't think you had it in you after our little disagreement. Wouldn't miss it. Where's Mark? Parking the car. What's with the briefcase? Just a gift for Mom and Dad. The room filled quickly. Uncle Richard gave me a subtle nod from across the room. Alex positioned himself near the sound system. Mark entered, looking nervous but determined. Elena arrived last, right on cue. My father tapped his glass. Thank you all for coming to celebrate with us. Before dinner, Melody has a special announcement. Melody beamed as she took the microphone. As many of you know, Mark and I are getting married next month, but we have even more exciting news. Mom and Dad will be moving in with us after the wedding. The crowd applauded. I stepped forward. That's very generous, sis, especially considering I paid for that house. The room went silent. Don't be ridiculous, Bowen, my mother said with a forced laugh. You helped with a few bills. A few bills? I have proof of every mortgage payment for the past 5 years, plus property taxes, repairs, and renovations. I signaled Alex, who started a slideshow on the projection screen. Photographs of bank statements, canceled checks, and receipts scrolled by. While I was working 3 jobs to keep a roof over their heads, Melody was hiding millions from her company's IPO. Mark stepped forward. It's true. She has over $2 million she's kept secret from everyone, including me. Melody's face contorted. You went through my personal files? After finding out you were lying about everything? Yeah, I did. Elena cleared her throat. As the family's lawyer, I feel obligated to point out that allowing Bowen to pay the mortgage under false pretenses could constitute fraud. My father turned pale. Now, wait just a minute. Too late for that, Uncle Richard interrupted. History repeating itself, brother? Just like what happened with Carol? Whispers rippled through the crowd. My mother's church friends were already backing away. 6 months later, I sat across from Elena as she handed me a check. The court's judgment in full, reimbursement for all mortgage payments plus interest. Never thought I'd see this day. Your evidence was irrefutable, and when your cousins came forward with similar stories about your parents' manipulative behavior. I deposited the check and drove to my new condo overlooking the lake. Alex and Uncle Richard were waiting with housewarming beer. Your mom called again, Alex said, handing me a cold bottle. Let me guess. Another tearful apology? Something about forgiveness and family being everything. Funny how family suddenly matters when they need something. You're not considering it, are you? I tossed my phone aside without listening to the voicemail. Some bridges stay burned. We raised our bottles as the sun set over the water. My new home, my real family, my life without their toxic presence. To paying your own mortgage, Alex laughed. And to never looking back, I added. Do you think Bowen was right to completely cut off his family with no chance for reconciliation? Or should family always get another chance no matter how toxic they've been? Have you ever had to make the difficult choice between forgiveness and walking away from someone who hurt you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more compelling stories that make you think. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next upload.